This is a little bit about the movie that we're watching this week that I hope will help you understand the movie. And I really like All the President's Men, but I'm a journalist, so I would. So I hope you enjoy it too. This is the real Carl Bernstein and Bob Woodward. They were not Hollywood actors. They were real life people and reporters at the Washington Post, really lowly reporters at the Washington Post at the time of the Watergate scandal. This is the real Ben Bradlee. He was the editor of the Washington Post in 1972. This is the Watergate building in Washington, and it takes its name from the scandal, Watergate scandal, and it's become such an iconic figure in our culture that anything that is a scandal is called gate. This is Mart Felt. He was Deep Throat. He identified himself before he died as Deep Throat, and Woodward and Bernstein were going to keep his identity safe until he died, but he identified himself before he died. Now, this is really confusing. Deep Throat was on deep background. So these are the various configurations of information that reporters can use. On the record, the information can be used and the source can be quoted by name. Off the record, the information cannot be used at all. Background. The information can be used, but only under conditions set by the source. He or she negotiates the terms. Deep background. The information can be used, but without any attribution. The source cannot be identified, and even his position or her position, even any identifying information about him or her cannot be used. But the information can be used. You'll hear this quote often. Creep. Committee to re-elect. This was the committee to re-elect the president, President Nixon, in 1972. Ethical questions that still exist today. Can the public trust a source on background or deep background? Can the public trust a reporter who is using anonymous sources? So you have to trust the newspaper because the newspaper is standing by the reporter. So if you don't trust the newspaper, you won't trust the reporter. Should a reporter ever misrepresent himself or herself? And should journalists use stolen information? Ethical questions that exist today. So a lot of people think President Nixon got a raw deal. He didn't do anything that other presidents haven't done. That's partially true. Other presidents do skirt the law a little bit to get reelected. So his administration had many accomplishments. That is absolutely true. He ended the war in Vietnam. He opened relationships with China, and that was a close relationship in 1970, in the 1970s. His political opponents set a trap for him that is absolutely false. President Richard Nixon did the damage to himself alone. I hope you enjoy the movie.